You try to figure out March Madness, you know what I mean? And I was looking at the odds for who's going to win this year. And like Duke was like, I don't know, 9-5 or something. And then Gonzaga. And then it's impossible. And I would say the Democratic field is about the same. I don't think, for me to be perfectly frank, I don't think Bernie can be elected president in this country. But he's running. Do you think Bernie Sanders could be elected president of the United States, Congressman?
No, I don't. Let me just say, by the way, I said that when I was 4 years ago, but 3 years ago. I would just, minor exception. My candor quotient has not significantly increased since I left.
That's why you had the name in the first place. That's right. You always
I appreciate that. I would occasionally. I did have a rule that if I couldn't tell the truth, I would say, I can't tell the truth, I'm not going to answer. But so my motto was tell the truth and nothing but the truth, the whole truth, get a subpoena. But no, I don't think he can. I think Bernie Sanders obviously makes a very important contribution. I wish that the American people were more willing to vote for much of what he wants. That's my own ideological preference. Right. One of the great problems we have in politics is this tendency for people across the spectrum, left, right, middle, to assume that what they personally prefer is politically the best way to go. That isn't always the case. I recognize there are things that I've been for that are not majority views, but that's unfortunately a human tendency to neglect that. But no, I think, and in fact, I think you see that reflected in what most of the Democrats are doing. Look, one of the problems we face right now is that I'm very glad that a lot of these very active Democrats won, although not in some cases. But one thing I want to point out, the people who are being listed now as the leading edge, none of them beat a Republican. None of them, frankly, contributed to our having a majority in the House that would expand medical care, that would fight for good climate change policies, that would build infrastructure and protect union rights. They all beat other Democrats where the policy differences were fairly small, or replaced other Democrats. The people who are going to be critical are the ones who beat Republicans, and they are clearly liberals on public policy issues, but if they had advocated the whole list of policies that Senator Sanders advocates, they wouldn't have won.
Do you feel that, I mean, are you watching in a positive, do you have positive feelings about the list of candidates you have right now and where the geographic center of ideology of those candidates is in terms of being able to defeat President Trump? You do? Who's your favorite right now? Who do you think's electable? I don't know. I can't see the future, but I can't point to anyone who's already running right now that I can get elected by the rest of the country. Maybe you can, and I could be totally wrong.
Well, let's take a look. I mean, we know there are people running who haven't announced. I haven't kept track of who's announced and who isn't, but there are 9 senators are very likely to be running for president. 5 of them voted for the compromise appropriation, and 4 voted against it. I think that's fairly representative of where you are.
By the way, ones you're talking about, I don't think you're talking about the
Bidens of the world.
Yeah, Biden's.
Well, Klobuchar voted for it.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think the distinction between who's announced and who isn't is somewhat artificial. Right now, we know some people are going to be.
But do you think that if, for example, Biden runs, that he has a much better chance? Do you think Klobuchar has a chance?
No. The answer, in part, is I don't know. I like what you said at the first, Andrew. I go back and look, and I don't see many people who saw Bill Clinton winning or Barack Obama. The American people are unpredictable in this way. And by the way, it is also the case. We forget, we complain about some things, but America has the most open, small d democratic process for picking the chief executive of any country in the world by far. And what that does is say you can't be sure. The decisive votes in both the Democratic primary in November are going to be cast probably by people who haven't thought much about the election now, who certainly don't have any firm preferences. So I'm very reluctant to make predictions. I do worry about the tendency of people, particularly the most ideologically motivated, left and right, to assume that what they want is what the public wants. And yes, I think there are some. I think the Green New Deal would be a loser. I do not think that people are going to be advocating that whole package.
Right.
There's not a lot in there I disagree with. Some I do, about meat, et cetera. But, you know, there's an argument that you don't destabilize the society by doing too much change at once. And I don't think, and partly we have people who are skeptical of government. People like me who do want to expand the government role in some areas need to understand that we have to show how that works. You have to do it in pieces. And then as you show it has worked, you can build on that.